Welcome, everybody, to the finale of the Solo Sesh-A-Thon. And when I say finale, I don't mean that I'm finishing the campaign here, but that my month-long endeavor to play every single day has finally reached its end. And I'm excited to be able to play this one out. So I'm just going to get right into it. We left off last session with SpongeCap, who is this mushroom folk, welcoming the party and ushering them in to the outskirts of this mushroom village that they've been making their way towards. And so I'll just start with the intro. The brisk night air gets warmer as the party draws closer to Broad Stalk. The wildlife seems to change ever so slightly. Merriment and music carry through the air like a sweet spring breeze. Colorful homes and people come into view as SpongeCap escorts the party within the limits of the city. So the party approaches, and in my mind, it kind of is like, I'll just kind of draw out the general ideas. There's like a big central mushroom here, and then like out and around it there's a few dozen of these kind of smaller ones, and when I say smaller I mean they're home sized, but this one right here is probably like the cap at the top is, I would say, at least 100 feet across, and it's multiple stories high, so it is a large building, and or I say building, it's a large establishment of some kind. And the party also can't really tell if these are like natural mushrooms, if they are occurring, like if they were built or something like that. And so there are pathways leading in between the different homes and buildings and establishments, and the party makes their way in, and people look at them. I would say, actually, let's go ahead and ask the question: are the people of the town extra curious, or are they like, oh, this is normal? So yes is going to be curious, and then no is normal. No, but so the people the people acknowledge the presence of the party, but they aren't like going out of their way, like gawking at them. It's more of a like, oh, okay, some more people passing through. I guess that's another question. Has anyone else passed through at this point? Yes. Okay, so it's been like a few months, I think, since this village has popped up. So they've had somebody else come through, unsure of who that is or why that would be. But SpongeCap continues to lead them forward, and Nelsor asks, is there anyone in charge here that we can talk to? And SpongeCap communicates through his telepathic link. And let's see, is this governed by one single person? Or is it, we'll just say, is there a singular leader? Yes. Okay. So there is a singular leader. I'm curious about who this would be. So I already have it kind of open here, and there aren't actually different races other than the main ones that I'm looking at. I want to see if they have Eladrin in here. Elementals, Druid, Dryad. I mean, it could be a Dryad of some kind. Freebie. It could be a giant dung beetle as well. So we'll say Dryad. It could be, they don't even have to have a stat block really, so I'm just doing this to kind of. Sorry about that. Maybe we will make it a druid, like an elf druid who is here, but maybe like a different kind of elf, if that. I guess it's an Eladrin, but like a Fey elf. Fey elf druid leader of Broadstalk. My throat decided to just start hurting. Okay, so what's the name of this druid? We'll just go with an elf name and see what happens. 8. Riordan. Okay. It's kind of a, I'm guessing that's a guy's name. Riordan. I'm going to take a second to cough, and I'll be back. The coughing break has ended. So, now that the party is making their way in, SpongeCap is leading them towards this large central mushroom that's a couple stories high, very, very wide across. And the party starts kind of soaking in everything that they're seeing. There are, it is nighttime, but there are like almost string lights hung out in between these mushroom caps that light everything up. There's like almost, it looks almost to be like will-o-wisps or something, maybe even just fireflies that are extremely large that buzz around and illuminate the streets below. And as the party makes their way through this sort of just mystical and enchanting place, I think, how is Eliara emotional about this? Because she's the one who theorized and had the idea that maybe this place was connected in some way to the Fey realm, and in ways that would pertain to her and her Sylvan ancestry. And so let's see, is she emotional about this? No, she's not like overcome with emotion. I don't think that means that she's not extremely in awe of everything, but she's I just wanted to see if she was going to cry. She's not going to cry. But she's taking it all in. She's noticing the different people and creatures that are around. I would say that there are some different maybe fairies and maybe even some like little colorful goblins of some kind, Eladrin elves, and just the like that are making their way in. They pass this pretty busy building that looks to be a tavern of some kind, and people are carrying out interesting looking liquids and just having a good time within. And Ulfric kind of nudges everybody else and says, "Hey, we need to go back there later." And so the party continues to make their way into town, and they make their way to this large central building, and there's some guards posted out front, but they don't look like they're there to really be militaristic, but just to be there in case of anything. And so the party, SpongeCap, kind of, the party can tell he's communicating with them in some way, and then one of them heads off, and SpongeCap turns around and addresses the party and says, they'll be back in a minute. They're going to check if Riordan is available. And he kind of explains who Riordan is. And yeah, the guard comes back, and actually, I I will roll this with advantage, but is Riordan available currently? No, but yes, but that was 17, not 10. And yes, but he doesn't have long, so it'll have to be quick. So the party makes their way inside, and they're immediately in awe of everything. There are these sconces that line the wall that seem to be like topped with amber that this like golden light is kind of emanating from. There are some more of these like firefly things like up in the rafters of this just magnificent structure. You can actually, in a like large central area, the stalk is hollowed out all the way up, and you can see the gills underneath the cap of this giant mushroom. And the party gets on this spiral staircase and begins to ascend until they come to a meeting hall. And they're led inside, and they see this this immaculate looking druid who has flowing green and brown robes and holds this knotted wooden staff, and he has a big smile and he says, I heard you all came looking to learn about the village, and from what Spongecap told the guard, it seems that you may also have some interest in helping us locate maybe the reason that we're here. And the party agree, and Nelsor steps forward, takes a deep bow, and then the party follows suit. Also, Mr. Carrots is outside right now, but there's just a quick exchange of information of why they're here, about the star to the north, about the floating disc, and how he would love to talk. Nelsor would love to talk with some people from the village to understand just kind of where what all has been explored as far as why they're here, what their thoughts are, different things along those lines. And let's just roll a prompt really quick just to see what the general, if there's anything that is being discussed here or needs to be discussed as well. So we got 2970. 29 is waste. And 70 is surprise. Waste, surprise. I'm thinking of waste more in like the noun sense, but I think that that's fine. Waste, surprise. I think that there's been kind of a discovery recently, like I'm gonna put this down. Waste, surprise, discovery of potential breakdown. Due to plane shift / rift. So, in my mind, this waste and surprise came as like kind of it's a surprise to them, and it's developed slowly over time, but there's something that happened during this. Maybe part of the plane is still like crossing over, but there's some kind of a similar to the, like I mentioned this in New Light with the lighthouse having some like magical residue on it, but in this case it's parts of the realms are kind of bleeding over between one another, which is causing some kind of a maybe even like a waste that is like nauseating in some way. So so the party is made aware that there is some kind of a breakdown that's happening, and maybe it's even the suitability of this world for the like high magical variance that's occurring from the Fey realm. And so there's this push and pull. And so Riordan says, we've really upped our search to find how we can return home. And I'm curious, actually. Let's see if Eliara. We're gonna see if Eliara knows, or if Riordan knows. Eliara is gonna ask if there are any kind of rifts, or like if they know of a way to pass between this world and the other, or if they knew about it before. Yes, there is. So Riordan does say that this mushroom grove, so Mushroom Grove was a portal between realms. And he says that his people didn't often travel through because just the state of the world over here, like long ago, actually, maybe one of them had an encounter with one of the brothers who was buried in the Barrow Mounds, and reported this. And so travel is very, very much a just, it happens every now and then just to make sure everything's good. And so the party continues to talk to him for a while until he does have other business to attend to. It's pretty late at night now too. And so he says, well, since you all are guests and we've only had, how many other people have had, let's see. This is how many other people have visited in total. 2. So one pair of individuals traveled through here at one point. But he offers to put them up at a local inn. So the party agrees, and he gives them directions, and then it turns out that this is the place that was really just upbeat and alive, and a lot of stuff was happening there. So they head out. Let's check something out really quick. 302. It's risky here. And this is Broad Stalk. And so let's go ahead and roll. As they leave, is there any kind of an encounter? Okay, that may have been one. Okay, no, there's not. So they make their way to this tavern that has been set aside for them by Riordan. And let's see if we can get a tavern generator. Okay, I want this to be a particularly Fey name if possible, but if not, it's just going to be what it is. So 9 is the filthy, I hate that. Well, we'll see. The filthy Camel. You know what? That's cool. I like that name. The filthy Camel is where they're staying. And we'll say that it's going to be here. The filthy Camel. And so the party makes their way into the tavern, And instantly, people start gravitating towards them and asking all kinds of questions of them. And so the party lets them know that they're here to they would love to be able to help. And Nelsor starts asking people all kinds of questions about their culture and about their just different things that their customs and the things that they know and what the Fey realm is like. And he just sits down and he starts jotting everything down. And so the party leave him at a table with a couple of people who he's chatting with, and they make their way over to the bar. And the bartender looks at him and he says, "If Riordan sent you, then the food is on us." And so let's see what kind of food they have. We're going to say that this is a wealthy... We're going to have a wealthy item here for them to eat. And it's going to be 5 baked troll bones. That seems crazy. But the bartender, who is this colorful goblin, he says, "Well, if you haven't had it before, this is one of my favorites." And so the party kind of look at each other warily and say, "Okay, yeah, we'll try that." And Eliara asks if they have any less obscure options, and the goblin says he'll bring out some fresh salads as well. And then he also has, let's see, we're going to say he's got an autumn mead that he brings out as well. And so they sit down at a table and they start really just letting it sink in. Yarki is the first one who he kind of breaks and he says, "Guys, we're really here. We're really at a Fey crossing realm split place." And he's saying that. He takes a drink and he says, Are you guys freaking out? Because I'm kind of freaking out." And let's see, it's the rest of the party kind of losing it. Nat one, no. The party actually kind of looks at Yarki and they're like, "Hey, dude, you gotta keep it together. I'm excited, but we don't even we trust these people just because, but we need to keep our guard up, I guess." And so they kind of temper him and his just kind of over enthusiastic kind of demeanor that he has going on right now. And as they sit around, eventually the troll bones come out, and the party has them, and they actually everybody just kind of gingerly takes the first bite. And then when they taste that it's good, they go ahead and munch down on it. And eventually SpongeCap catches up to the party, and he comes in. He sits down next to them, and he says, "Hey, I won't be here long, but Riordan did also let me know that there was a party that departed within the week to go check out the fallen star, or go search in the general direction. And he did say that he would like for you all," and Nelsor, he looks back and there are people just gathered around him. He's now kind of getting made fun of for some of his material plane clothes that he has on. Somebody brings him over something that they would like him to wear, and he puts it on, and then they all start clapping for him and they want him to dance. And so the party all are kind of relieved that they're over here. And SpongeCap says, yes, so all four of you and your mule, Mr. Carrots, as well, are requested to journey to the north and see if you can meet up with the party that went looking for, or is kind of searching, and then potentially find the fallen star and investigate. And so the party says, well, yeah, we would be happy to help out with that. And let's see. Actually, I guess SpongeCap says also, Riordan says that he will do his best to reward you appropriately if you all are able to help out in some way, because he's trying not to let it get out, but he's a little worried about the bleed over between the realms. So I'll leave you all to it. I'll be on the edge of town with my people, and Ulfric kind of looks at him and he says, well, do you guys not stay here? And SpongeCap says, we plant ourselves in the bog at night. And everybody, all of them are just kind of like, kind of blown away by that. And then he kind of explains that what happens is they all gather together and plop themselves down, and their like fungal network connects, and they just kind of fellowship with one another that way as they rest. And so everybody's pretty intrigued by that. But so they stay here for a while, and then eventually they're about to go to bed. Let's see if there's anything else. If anything happens. Nothing happens. And the party make their way, are about to make their way up to their room, and then Nelsor comes over, and he says, what does he say? Because I have an idea, but I want to see if there's anything interesting that could come of it. 84:21. Protect family. Protect family. What? So this is interesting. Now I'm really curious about this, because in my mind, my thought was he was going to say that they had been asked to like do something or spend some time with people, but protect family. Maybe I'm kind of like thrown for a loop here. Protect family. Let's see what the other way around 2184 would be. Arrive, decay. Okay, we're going to go with arrive, decay. Just because protect family seems a bit more, like I don't want somebody to rush in and be like, hey, come protect my family, even though that would be totally fine. But arrive and decay kind of makes sense for what's going on here. And some of the people talking to Nelsor filled him in. They're like, hey, yeah, this is what we've all been noticing, this kind of nastiness that's been occurring. And and Nelsor says, well, can you take me to see it? Nastiness regarding the thing that Riordan was talking about with the kind of the bleeding between the realms. And the people will say, yeah, sure, come with us. And so the party gather their things up. They just throw them on their back. They were going to take them up to the room, but they go ahead and take them with them. And they head out, and the party is led to kind of the outskirts, and there's a mushroom building, and then on the back side of it, it's kind of like oozing gray kind of nastiness that's kind of melting off the top of this cap down the stalk, and it's very clearly highly charged with magic. And Eliara is actually going to cast, let's see, detect magic. That's somewhere in here, and she has it. So I'm pretty sure she doesn't cast that with any kind of advantage, but I will double check. So she's got detect magic 58. So you can sense the presence of magic within near range for the spell's duration. If you focus for 2 rounds, you discern its general properties. Full barriers block this spell. So let's see. 17. So she passes the first one, and she can sense just like the immense power that's coming off of it. And then 17, man, I'm rolling hot today. And I haven't been rolling that much. But Eliara, she starts to push a little further, tries to understand this, what it is. And she gets hit with this, like, I guess it's like a deep, like, psychic kind of pain for a second. And it feels like it's coming from, like, the back, like the behind her almost. And she turns, and it's like at the top of her head. She turns and looks up, and up in the distance, as the moon is hanging kind of behind this mountain, it's being eclipsed by this floating disc that sits atop the mountain, and the stars up above it. Everything looks beautiful, but that disc is it's just hanging heavy. And she looks at the ooze. She looks at it, and she can kind of sense the connection here, and she just leans over to Nelsor, and she says, it is the disc. The disc is poisoning this town, and I believe that if they are here for too much longer, that they won't be able to return, but also that this place will be corrupted beyond measure. And Nelsor kind of looks at the ooze, looks up, and he pulls out his little journal, and he makes a note, and he says, well, I guess then we've got to help these people, right? And the party without hesitation all agree. And then the party fills Nelsor in on the upcoming journey up into the north of where this star has fallen. And so the party's up super late now. It's probably midnight or later, and everything is like, it's not slowing down here. And so they begin to say their goodbyes to some people after hanging out for probably like an hour or so more, just discussing, investigating this decay. And so we'll roll one more encounter as they make their way back. Okay. They make their way back to the Filthy Camel Inn, and the barkeep kind of shows them up to their rooms for the night. And the rooms are very quaint. So they also realize that as they walk up these stairs that kind of wrap around the inside of this mushroom, that the floor in here is extremely, like, spongy. And so it is true that it's just been, like, carved out of this mushroom. And they make it up to their rooms, which are also hollowed out of the mushroom, and they are very interesting and smooth. They have small circles for windows, and just little purple lights that float in the window that kind of shed a dim light on the room, and a candle's lit also by the bed. But the party, they get ready to sleep, they clean themselves up, and then they go to sleep for the night. And that is, I guess, where we'll end the Solo Sesh-A-Thon. So the party is now, they're at this kind of in-between point where they will maybe potentially be able to help these people, hopefully, maybe discover kind of more of the nature of the floating disc, but also understand what it was that brought these people from the Fey realm into the material realm. And yeah, I'm looking forward to understanding that more as well, and how maybe this star plays in and everything else. But it's been really fun doing this. And only a month ago, I recorded my first ever session, and at this point, it feels kind of like second nature. But we'll see going forward how much I will be recording, but also how much I'll be playing, because that's been the big push, is to play every day. And I have different thoughts on that, and I would love to kind of share those with you all as I go. So if you have any questions, maybe about what it was like to play 30 days in a row, or any thoughts or kind of input, I'd love to hear that in the comments. And anything else you guys have, I love reading the comments. I love getting to interact with you all and just get to kind of build friendships through YouTube. It's been a lot of fun. But I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and I hope you guys have a good one.